If you've looked at YouTube trends
Yeah.
or TikTok or really any screen at all in the last 24 months, you've definitely seen the numbers.
Oh, yeah.
And if you haven't seen them, you have absolutely felt the vibrations. We are talking about 65 billion views.
Which is a number that honestly it breaks the human brain. I mean, it rivals the GDP of small nations.
Right.
But instead of oil or tech exports, this entire economy is built on grimacing human heads popping out of mobile toilet bowls.
It is the Skibidi phenomenon. And I think for a lot of people, even those who consider themselves, extremely online.
Yeah, the chronically online crowd.
Exactly. There is this huge tendency to just write this off as brain rot. Just digital junk food for Gen Z or Gen Alpha.
Totally.
But when you look at 65 billion views across different platforms,
yeah,
you aren't looking at a fluke. You're looking at a masterclass in algorithmic dominance.
Absolutely. If you dismiss it as just noise, you are missing arguably the most fascinating evolution in media since the birth of the internet meme itself. This isn't just some random slang term. It is a full-blown case study in how visual storytelling, pop music, and internet culture have all merged into this perfect storm.
So that is our mission for this deep dive today. We are just going to translate modern slang so you can survive this conversation with a 10-year-old.
Haha. Though that is a very nice bonus for our listeners.
It really is. But we are going to unpack the entire Skibidi Toilet franchise as a piece of modern media and a genuine linguistic event.
Because it really is an event.
Right. We're going to look at the origin of the web series, the musical mashup that birthed the actual sound, and how it evolved into a dictionary-recognized term with somehow no fixed meaning.
And we should probably start by clarifying that when we say franchise, we aren't using that word lightly.
Not at all.
This isn't just a couple of funny clips you scroll past. This is a sprawling narrative with deep lore, heroes, villains, and this massive technological arms race.
Right. So let's get into the source of the madness here. The whole Skibidi concept didn't just manifest from the ether in the mid-2020s. It came from a very specific creator.
It did. A creator named Alexei Gerasimov. He's a YouTuber based in Georgia.
The country, not the state.
Yes, the country. Mm-hmm. And he runs the channel at Dafuk Boom. And what's really interesting is that before February 2023, he was already doing pretty well on YouTube.
Making animation content.
Right. But then he dropped this incredibly short clip of a head inside a toilet singing a mashup song.
And to paint a picture for you listening, the premise of the Skibidi Toilet series is, well, it's a dystopian yet highly comic war.
It's so absurd.
It really is. You have these mobile toilet bowls, and out of the bowls emerge these leering, grimacing human heads.
The combatants on one side.
Exactly. And they are fighting against these humanoid creatures who wear business suits, but instead of heads, they have electronic devices.
Yeah, like surveillance cameras or speakers or old CRT televisions.
And the scale of success for this bizarre premise is just staggering. I mean, the data you brought in shows this isn't just a niche internet joke.
No, it's a massive media empire at this point. That very first video, it has tens of millions of views on its own.
Wow.
The series is nearing 200 installments now. The channel has over 47 million subscribers.
And that key stat from the Washington Post that you mentioned earlier, 65 billion views across various platforms.
65 billion. It's hard to even conceptualize that many eyeballs on anything, let alone fighting toilets.
It highlights how this content just went universally viral among Gen Alpha. The sheer absurdity of the concept versus those staggering numbers is wild.
It is. And it works because it relies on visual language.
Right, there's a specific aesthetic to it.
Exactly. Gerasimov uses Source Filmmaker, or SFM, which gives it that jerky, slightly uncanny video game look that kids and gamers instantly recognize.
But the visual is only half the equation. We have to talk about the soundtrack. Because I think the central question for anyone observing this is, why that specific word?
Why Skibidi?
Yeah, where does that sound actually come from? Because the toilet heads in those early episodes were always shown singing this very specific musical mashup.
And the musical DNA of that mashup is fascinating. It's two completely different tracks forced together.
Right.
First, you have Timbaland's massive 2007 hit, Give It To Me.
An absolute classic.
Yeah. And then that beat is mashed up with a 2022 track by a Bulgarian artist named Bizer King.
The song is called Dom Dom.
Yes, that's the one. And what Bizer King does in that track is he features this bridge of scat-style singing.
So he's just improvising rhythms with his voice.
Exactly, singing these nonsense lines. Linguistically, I should technically term it a non-lexical vocable.
A non-lexical vocable, meaning it's a word that functions as sound but has no actual dictionary definition.
Right, like la 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 or oh ooh. And
Yeah.
the specific vocable he sings in the track sounded exactly like skibidi.
Skibidi dop dop, yes, yes.
Yes, precisely that.
And what's crazy is how that evolved. Because for the first 8 or 9 episodes of the web series, the word was just part of the song the toilets sang.
Right, it was just the soundtrack to the bad guys arriving.
But then it completely detached. It detached from the song, it detached from the web series, and it just became a meme on its own.
It really did.
It entered the core brain rot vocabulary of Gen Alpha.
Which brings us to decoding the meaning of the word. Because once it escaped the web series, it took on a life of its own.
And this is where we attempt to define the word for you. But the massive twist here is that, well, it doesn't actually have a fixed meaning.
It refuses to have a fixed meaning, and that's what drives older generations crazy.
Right, because usually slang translates directly. Cool means good, square means boring.
But Skibidi doesn't work like that. And we know this because major dictionaries are actually tracking it now.
Which is wild to think about.
It is. Merriam-Webster officially defines it as being used for a humorous, expressive, and ironic effect.
Humorous, expressive, and ironic effect. That is so broad.
Oh, it gets broader. Cambridge Dictionaries actually named it one of their words of the year in 2025.
You're kidding?
Nope. And their definition is incredibly loose. They say it can mean cool, it can mean bad, or it can be used with no real meaning at all, purely as a joke.
So it means good, bad, and nothing, all at the same time.
Exactly.
So let's give some concrete examples of how a listener might actually hear this used out in the wild, because you hear it as an expletive replacement a lot.
Yes. Like, oh, my skibidi.
Or what's skibidi?
Right. It takes the bite out of a swear word and makes it instantly silly.
And then you hear it used as an adjective. A kid might say, oh man, that is so skibidi.
Which, depending on the tone of voice and the context, could mean they love it or they think it's the worst thing ever.
You really have to read the room.
You do. It's highly contextual. Sometimes it's just dropped into sentences purely as a filler word for comic effect.
And then there's the meta joke, the recursive usage that really melts my brain.
Oh, the loop.
Yeah. The phrase, the skibidi of skibidi is skibidi.
Haha. It's pure internet dataism. It's acknowledging that the word is nonsense, the source material is nonsense, and everyone saying it is just participating in the shared absurdity.
It's like a linguistic inside joke for an entire generation.
Exactly. If you try to pin down the definition, you're missing the point. The point is the energy of the word.
So to recap this entire journey we've been on, we started with a scat-singing bridge in a 2022 Bulgarian pop song.
Mashed up with Timbaland.
That sound became the anthem for a massive dystopian web series war between animated toilets and camera-headed humanoids.
A war that generated 65 billion views.
And then that anthem morphed into a catch-all slang term for a generation that major dictionaries are now studying.
It's quite the resume for a nonsense word.
It really is, and I think it highlights something crucial. As silly as it seems on the surface, it shows how incredibly quickly internet culture shapes the language we use today.
It's instantaneous. A trend on YouTube can change the vocabulary of millions of kids globally in a matter of weeks.
Without any traditional media gatekeepers involved.
None. The algorithm finds the audience, and the language spreads frictionlessly.
Which leaves us with a really fascinating question to chew on.
Yeah, I want to leave you with this final thought. If a word like skibidi can mean anything, everything, or literally nothing, depending entirely on context, does it represent the ultimate evolution of language? Are we moving toward a future where the vibe and the shared cultural reference matter far more than the actual rigid definition of the words we speak?
Oh, that is a wild thought to mull over. A vibe-based global dialect.
It might be the first true word of that dialect.
Well, thank you for taking the plunge into the absolute deep end of Gen Alpha slang with us today. Hopefully you feel a little more prepared the next time you hear someone shout about a Skibidi toilet.
Or at least you'll know exactly which Bulgarian pop song to blame.
Haha, exactly. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive. We'll catch you next time.